Chapter 64, Oportunidad, Opportunity. Woman to Woman's second Money Matters workshop has ended, and the guest speaker is bombarded by all the mentees rushing to meet him. Sabrina calls me over to the back of the church, telling me she has something to ask. As you know, we're having our annual fundraiser soon, and I wanted to know if you'd contribute a piece of art for our auction. Me? Yes, you. We'd love to showcase some student work this year, Sabrina says. You can donate something you already have, or if you want, you can make something new. Of course, I tell her yes. Maxine and I talk about it the whole way home. She parked her car at my house before the workshop, and we walked over together. When we get to my house, Maxine comes in to say hello to Mom. I tell Mom about the auction, and the first thing she says is, "So they're going to make money off your art? What do you get out of it?" I tell her what Sabrina told me. I get exposure. There are going to be a lot of people there, people with money, and you never know what could happen. Plus, it helps raise money for us to go on all those outings, and of course, it'll help the scholarship fund. I like being able to say I'm not just getting an opportunity from Woman to Woman, but that I'm helping to keep it thriving. Don't you think that's a good thing? I do, Mom says. I just want to make sure you're okay with it, that it's really something you want to do. Then she looks at Maxine and says, "What do you think? You think it's all right for her to do this? Aren't these kind of events fancy and full of rich white folks?" I don't want people gawking over her. I mean, I know she's all excited about it, but I don't want her to come home feeling like she's been a zoo animal all night. You know what I mean? Maxine nods. I absolutely know what you mean. I've had to participate in my fair share of fundraisers and gala events. I can give her some tips on what to expect, Maxine says, and I'll be there looking out for her, she promises. Well, good. Glad she won't be there by herself, Mom says. And you know, it will be good for you, Jade, to speak about your work and meet and greet people who are interested in supporting young women. They need to meet her, Maxine explains. Well, Mom says, I guess they do. She smiles so big, bigger than any smile I've seen on her face in a long time. Our little artist is doing big things. Huh, Maxine? I like that she said "are," like she's okay with sharing me. Mom goes to the kitchen. Maxine, you been using any of those skills I taught you? Well, you see, what happened was, no excuses, Mom says, laughing and shaking her head. Maxine and I go to the kitchen too. Mom is cutting up a rotisserie chicken. There's a bag of kale sitting on a cutting board and a box of croutons on the countertop. Thought I'd try out one of those healthy living recipes, she says. Mom asks Maxine to rinse the kale. I take out bowls and forks. I set them on the table and ask Maxine, "So what is it going to be like?" She tells me it's like a cocktail party, but of course you won't be drinking. She laughs. I know that's right, Mom says. Maxine tells us this year the fundraiser will be at Mia's gallery. There will be a live jazz band, and people will mingle and talk and buy art. And towards the end, Sabrina will say a few words about the program. That's all. So I don't have to make a speech or anything, right? No, Maxine says, but since your art is being featured as the student art, I'm sure folks will want to talk to you. You should think of how you want to represent yourself. Come up with a few things you want to say about your art, about the program, about your goals in life. She tells me, "You'll be fine. Just be yourself."